The everyday habits that are tanking your sexy time life. Take a sip of that water we told you to get. Big glass of water, because not drinking enough water can totally tank your sex life. Hydration is the key to everything, including
the nethers.
Of course.
But what does that mean
For the
tank?
ladies?
Like you're just not in the mood?
and men. Goes for ladies and men.
Oh.
Not drinking enough water, you're dehydrated. It could lead to not great arousal because you're not hydrated enough, and maybe the blood flow isn't as strong as it could be.
Okay.
You maybe are not experiencing certain level of.
For the ladies?
I mean, if you're not hydrated, you're probably dry.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
That's
man.
why you have a master's degree,
I
man.
just threw up now.
Yeah.
I mean, anything that's not wet's dry.
You are dry. That's right. You're parched. Your whole body's
Yeah.
parched. Whole body is parched. And so you have to make sure that you, and also, by the way, if you're dehydrated, your body's tired. You're fatigued. You have a better chance of getting muscle cramps. You're not able to go as long as you want. Your stamina, all those things.
Well, now I
lead
see
to-
an actual use for those ridiculous, huge Stanley Cups that all women
Drink your water,
carrying around all
boy.
over the place. Gallons of liquor, liquid, no matter where they are.
Yes. Drink the water.
Okay.
Drink it. And so, yes, I think a lot of people think, oh, it's just for nope, it's for men and women.
What if you do like the Prime energy drinks with Viagra in it? Does that help?
Well,
Skip the water?
odds of your heart exploding, I think, are great.
Oh, yeah. Okay. There's always a downside to everything.
Yeah, but if you've ever experienced a muscle cramp, I think that you could chalk it up to lots of things, but you should start with a large glass of
I
water.
remember one time I had, I think the worst cramp you can get, at least, I don't know, maybe for women there's worse cramps, but for a man is the one in the arch of your foot.
Oh, that's the
Oh,
worst.
that is
Where it's
such a
you're,
bad
You're
one.
like scared to move your foot because you feel like it's going to break.
Yes,
But
yes.
then it feels like it's going to pop out or something if you don't move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so you're like, and it's like in the
Oh,
middle
the
of it.
worst.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't say anything till afterwards. I was just crying a little bit.
Yeah. The feeling of that cramp is not the same as period cramps.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm sure
Yeah.
women have worse ones,
Yeah.
but
Not the same
or they
feel,
or
but
Jason, they claim they're worse.
Yeah.
to get attention.
Yes.
So here we are
I mean,
with our.
suck it up already.
I mean, it's what, since you're 13? Come on, you're gonna
Right.
keep complaining.
Yep. Gonna go ahead and schedule that Thames machine to come on in and hook you all up to a number 11
Oh, okay.
and see how you do.
Oh, you know we die instantly.
You would. Anyway, not drinking enough water is the everyday thing that is tanking your sex life. Also, mindlessly scrolling your phone or being on your phone 24/7 is tanking your sex life for a
yeah.
lot of reasons.
Yeah, I can see that.
Why?
Well, first of all, it's mind-numbing behavior. Mind-numbing behavior.
Depends what you're looking at, though, right?
No, because at some point it all becomes mindless.
It does.
Because you're just scrolling and scrolling. And then if you think about it, how many times have you said, and I think every person on the show has admitted, you have sat on the toilet for hours.
Oh, yeah.
Just one more.
One
more.
I can't.
One more.
I can't end on this TikTok.
Can't end on gotta end on a good
Yeah.
Gotta
one.
be a good reel or whatever.
That also is not good for your sexy time life, because then you're never fulfilled.
Right.
It's never good
oh,
enough.
I see.
You're constantly chasing the high.
The hot. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And then also, it really starts to limit your interpersonal communication. We
I
all
know.
forget how to communicate with one another.
My daughter Ava was telling me something about, she's in 2 plays now, but she has like a big one coming up. It'll be the first of the year. But and so she's telling me about it just the other day, and I realized I wasn't listening at all. Normally, I put my phone down when she talks to me because she doesn't just talk for no reason. She can be a talker, but it was like, I'm like, oh. Like halfway through her story, I'm like, I didn't hear anything she just said. And so I put the phone down. But it was like, it does mess up everything.
All of it. And we don't remember, or I think sometimes maybe with younger kids, even create the skill or gain the skill of talking face to face.
Yeah.
Because if you're constantly on your phone, then what's the point?
Well, I shared this with you, but for other people. There's a missionary training center. This is how when we send missionaries from our church, how we can trick you into joining our church. No, it just teaches them like the schedule. And some people are learning another language, so they might be learning the language while they're there. But when I was there, that's what you did. I was there for 2.5 weeks. This is the schedule. Just get used to it. These are things you can expect. So you're going. I was going to South Africa speaking English, but this is what the schedule's like. So you can get used to it before you go. And now they go and they teach you how to. This is how you make eye contact. This is how you shake someone's hand and maintain eye contact.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Because everyone that's coming up, they're coming up on tablets and phones and screens that they're not used to doing it.
Yes.
They have to spend time like this is how you talk to a human being.
Mm-hmm. And then if you have parents in the age range that are like half and half, you know, I think we lose those skills and then maybe not remember to pass them on to our children who are iPad kids.
Not only those skills, but you lose the special moments you might not have had. I definitely realize there's less communication even with families. I mean, there's times I notice even in my household, we're literally texting each other and we're all in the same house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and we're distracted. And like literally I could be talking and then the middle sentence, I don't know if the light shines because a message comes in or a notification, it's distracted. And right while you're talking, the person's lost.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, and how many times have you realized that everybody in your house is on some sort of electronic, just in different rooms?
Mhm.
Yes.
You know,
Or even in the same room.
or even the same room. I'm all for downtime. I think we all have to
Sure.
unplug. However, it happens. You come home from school and you just need to your own break or what. I get it. I totally get that. But for it to go on in my case, from the time the kids get home from school until it's time for dinner, and it's too much.
Yeah. My son Eli, he's 12. He has a phone, but he doesn't have a phone plan. It's holding a story, but he can text through iMessage and all that stuff and do FaceTime. But he took it to a Clemson game when his friends took him to a Clemson Notre Dame game, which was cool, and he lost it.
Oy.
And he hasn't had his phone for like a week. And I'm like, can we send him somewhere?
Yeah.
There's like some like phone rehab. And he's like, Dad,
I need it.
Dad, we're going to get a phone. Dad, can I get my phone? When can I get a phone? I'm like, dude, chill.
It's
and then
cracked.
we found like an old iPad that he can now use. And then he's like, it's like he's recovering from an illness.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, God, thank you. I haven't heard from him the last couple of days because he's back on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's absolutely the truth. It's very sad, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
Well, another thing, everyday thing. These are everyday habits that everybody does that is totally tanking your sexy time life. Spending too much time sitting down. This one, I feel like,
Oh, no.
yeah, it's being sedentary. It affects our physical health,
Oh, dear.
obviously, but it can also lead to negative health conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. It can also affect our sex drive and our desire. It makes you feel sluggish and tired, and then it can also decrease your energy and your libido. And if you think that it can't happen to you, you're wrong, because here's what happens. All of those negative things can lead to diseases, which lead to medications, which lead to decreased sexual desire,
Certain
or
medications.
certain medications, or
Yeah.
certain medications that do not allow you to perform.
Are there
Go ahead and
medications?
stand up, there, bud. Go ahead and stand up.
Let's not die
Yeah,
today.
let's say, woo!
Are there medications for women, and I don't know if there are that actually make them more in the mood?
I don't know about more in the mood. Maybe hormone therapy or
Because
something.
like for men, testosterone,
Jog it out,
I'm
Jared.
running in place
Yeah.
now.
you know,
Testosterone.
Wait, it's way
yeah.
too much work. Okay.
For the hormone therapy, it's estrogen. Like if you're low on estrogen, and then sometimes also for women, if you're low on testosterone, and then you get those levels up because you're supposed to have a certain level of
Right.
testosterone for men and women, that then you feel like you get some of your mojo back.
oh,
But if you're on any sort of
antidepressant.
antidepressant or anti-anxiety medication, blood pressure medication, cancer meds, those are all things that are known, not all of them, but are known in a large quantity to affect your sexual desire.
You know what's ironic, or I find interesting, is that like older men, or a lot of older men, will be on blood pressure medication, and then they also are taking like Cialis and Viagra, which like gets their blood going. So is that like your body's probably like, what are you doing?
Yeah, so probably.
It's like,
Yes.
don't pump it, no pump it, no pump it, no pump it. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess. And thin it, don't thin it. I don't know.
Live, don't live. Live, don't live.
So that was kind of a two-parter. Is that
but
yeah?
sorry, but
That's
the
okay.
Viagra, that what I don't like about that is
Oh, he just admitted to it.
no, I didn't. I already have Wave Tech anyway. I don't need that.
What I
Okay.
don't like about the idea of
Yeah.
that is, there you go.
The it doesn't actually get you in the mood or anything. Nothing.
It just helps you perform.
It just gets blood down there so
Got
it
it.
can work. It doesn't do anything about mood.
Mm-hmm.
There's I guess testosterone could get you in the mood if you're lacking it,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if there's anything that gets you more in the mood.
I don't know. Well,
Maybe some
Like a
kind of illegal
supplement?
drugs.
Yeah, yeah.
maybe here's something that maybe could help you would be
Molly?
I
You said Molly?
I think
Yeah.
that enhances.
Whoa.
I don't know. I
That
never had it, but I've
enhances-
heard that.
Yeah, it makes you feel like sensual and in the mood, or
More open to
touchy-feely,
yeah.
and like those things do more for
Makes
you.
you horny as hell.
Katie, have you done Molly before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it? MD? No.
Yeah.
MDMA.
MDMA.
Yeah,
I get it, I guess.
But the
It's all
big
the same.
problem with that, and I've never done it, but I was like, gosh, I would like to try it. Is you don't know exactly what you're getting because it's not regulated.
that's
so
true.
it could be fentanyl for all you know. So you really don't know. Even the person giving it to you doesn't really know.
No, they don't.
Katie, remind me if
It's
I
a-
ever start doing drugs, not to hang out with Jason.
He's a
Yeah.
real downer.
How
Although,
regulated
Just be
is
cool
that?
and eat the meth, man.
Well, to prevent your death, I would
Did
hope
that go
so.
through the government channels?
but I back in my day, I wasn't thinking about that kind of stuff.
I know.
It definitely
Well, it was
heightens
less.
your senses. I mean, for sure.
And like fentanyl wasn't even a thing then.
Yeah, it's-
Fentanyl
yeah.
is everywhere now. It's a serious problem.
Very scary.
It's laced with anything. I personally know of people that have had people die.
Yeah.
And over, not bad kids or anything, that just wanted some weed or something.
Yeah, I know. Doing what kids do.
Yeah.
You know, here's something that you can do that might help you get in the mood. One of the everyday things that we do that really tanks our sex life is waiting until bedtime to start thinking about sexy time.
Oh.
So it's because it's like, well, I have to live my whole day and we have things to do and check it off your list.
It was
And then
tired, yeah.
yeah, you get in the bed and you're like, oh, yeah, we're supposed to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's if you throughout the day think about it by maybe sexting, or I think this is a big one, wearing something that makes you feel sexy, or not wearing something
Oh,
that
I'm wearing
makes you
a,
feel
I'm wearing a
sexy.
thong right now.
See, getting yourself in the
Yeah, I
mood.
shouldn't have told you
So
that.
you're
Feel real
saying it's
sexy.
okay to wait. It's just when you start thinking about
Gotta
it.
think about it throughout
I-
the day.
Think a lot of guys think about it as soon as they wake up until the minute
Yeah.
they go to sleep. So I don't think that's an issue
And
for
that's
most
a
men.
problem with a lot of women is that and I'm not saying that men don't have other thoughts on their mind, but you could see how when you have a trillion other things that you're doing throughout the day and all of the things you're trying to juggle and keep up with, that it's, oh, right, we're supposed to do it when you crawl into
But
bed.
even when I'm, I was like, I took on a project of staining tables last weekend.
So
and,
boring.
and I'm like,
No.
I still, during a staining
loser.
session, would think about it.
I want to lay her on this table.
You know what else I can stain?
Yeah, I can stain
You know what I'm
Carol.
saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what guys are doing. I think
I
a
know.
lot of guys, I mean, they could be, I don't know, doing car repairs. And they're still, every once in a while,
Yeah.
think about it.
I think it goes further than that, though. Like, for me, like, if it's something I really want to make sure, like, it happens tonight, I will text my wife earlier in the day, like, hey, I think tonight we should blah, blah, blah. And then kind of, like, chit-chat about it throughout the day, then it definitely happens.
Nice.
When you
Definitely
say
more often.
When you say blah, 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 does that mean you're saying we should have sexy time or something else?
No, I'm saying we should do that, and this is what, I would like to do this, or you should do this.
You
kind
want
of
your
thing.
parts and
Yes.
her parts
That's
Yeah.
why.
to meet.
That's why
I like
Matt
that.
said recently that if he ever dies, to throw his phone,
Phone away.
I love it, dude. Plan it. Yeah. Talk
Yeah.
about it.
I mean, you don't have to be like, hey, tonight at 8:35 we're gonna do this, but just be like, I've been thinking about this a lot lately.
yeah.
And just kind of like plant the seed so that they're like, oh, okay.
So
and
that
then-
you can
then-
plant the seed.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, you know that when Matt just mentioned like the appointment
Yeah.
sex, the appointment sex is just not. It doesn't appeal to me as much. I don't. It just seems a little. But when you read it from like counselors and stuff, when you're having not a lot of time, they say that actually does help to do that, anyways.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I think if you just hope it's going to happen, if you're going through a drought, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
because you fall into a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
And so because you've been doing more appointment sexy time. Jason approved by the government, right?
There's been a couple times, but a lot of times it's not appointment necessarily. But I will say, Carol and I did try a time that was different than usual because typically it is right before bed or something like that. And we weren't really used to it. It was a bit odd.
Too much light.
No, I like light.
Okay.
That helps.
We hungry for lunch?
It's
Might have been hungry.
It was just an odd setting. Something about the environment. I was just so not used to it that it was just like so awkward almost a little bit. So it's like we may have to do that more to get used to it because it was so different. Plus, it just so happens that one particular time and that one particular moment, that's when out of the blue we get a knock on the door from somebody in the house and, trying to get into the room. And it's like, why?
Hey!
Why at this time? I haven't seen Landon. He was buried in his bedroom for the last 5 hours.
Yes.
And just at this particular second,
Right.
he decides to knock on the door. Are you insane?
We're-
Did
we're out of
some kind
talkies, bro.
ESP go off?
Bro.
You're out of talkies, bro. We need some talkies.
Talkies.
We say Jason is a CB or a DB. The CB. Maybe it's in the blood.
It might be.
It
Hereditary.
makes sense that somebody's about to have fun. He's like, not on my watch.
Not in this house.
Not today.
You're never up at this time ever. And
It's
now
sense,
you're and it's
excitement.
just at the.
It's just at that moment.
Yeah, just at the exact moment.
Dad.
Legit, as soon as I was like, I'm going to take this up. What?
Dad,
It's a sense.
I
They
need some
know.
prime, Dad.
They know.
Dad.
And then it's even worse because it's like, Dad, can I come in? I'm like, no.
Come in.
And then when you say that, it's like,
Why?
well, no,
What
I
y'all
think he got
doing?
it. So then it's like,
Oh.
ooh, that's awkward to proceed now because he's like, I just told my son you're distracting sexy time with mom.
Right, with your
gross.
mother.
Ew, we always knew
Mother!
when the door was locked.
Yes.
You know, like we would just, we had the sense, I guess. We didn't put two and two together, but the three of us, my sisters and I, it was like, that was always the time that we needed our parents. And then we would go and try the door and it would be locked. We're like, why is the door locked? Why? You know, and now I get it.
Yeah, now,
Now I know why.
Nothing will kill that faster.
Anyway, those are the everyday things that you're doing that are tanking your sexy time life. So maybe now that you're aware of it, you could, I don't know, maybe try
Make
to put
some
some effort.
changes, yeah.
Start with the water. It's a good thing.